CIA.
Things going around the internet, like all the Western countries,
Mhm.
like Asian people of Asian descent. So they're American or British or wherever they are, but they're Asian descent. But like people say, "Oh, because of the corona," they see them coughing. Well, oh my god!
Yeah, maybe it's a Chinese spy. Who knows?
That could be a Chinese spy.
Yeah, there to spread the disease.
Yeah, I think
Dennis, your song
there's
request?
yeah, Sunday Morning by Maroon 5. There was a
Yeah.
really ridiculous situation when I was in Sydney. Just I asked one of my friends, his name is Brad, do you know Maroon 5? I just spoke, 5 times. He didn't understand because I didn't have any accent. So he said, "Oh, Maroon 5." So he understood. So I just realized how, accent and intonation is really important when speaking English, right? Right. Many Korean people, they don't just know how important it is, right? So Maroon 5, right?
Okay.
You're kind of getting there, but not quite. Maybe it's just Australian accent. Who knows?
And
So I'll let you introduce it. The song. You want to introduce the song?
yeah,
Yeah, just do not stutter this
it's up
time,
to
you
you.
know?
Up to you.
안 들어가가지고.
Make sure you do not stutter.
But maybe I think maybe Maroon 5 by Sunday Morning.
Maybe? What do you mean by maybe? Don't you know the singers' names there? You gotta get the thing
You
right.
can get it.
You're the main DJ, just do it.
You want?
It's
Okay.
I'm
I'll just
okay.
do it.
I'm okay. All right.
Yeah, that works too. We have a Facebook on too.
Really?
Never liked the Facebook.
And British accent and American accent is totally different. So the word like graffiti. Yeah, but I learned that word from the original, the British lady. So she said graffiti.
Graffiti.
Yeah, so I just said, but nobody understood. Graffiti. So she said, oh, graffiti. Oh yeah, graffiti. And she told me, oh, you so cute pronunciation. What?
Nothing.
What's the matter with you?
Me? Just disappointed by the world.
We are matter.
I mean, what a great year it has been, you know. First there was a conflict between the United States and Iran, and now there's a coronavirus around the New Year's. Wonderful start, I might say.
We had some volcano. What was the volcano?
Wasn't it from Indonesia?
Indonesia?
I think it was like the end of last year.
No, it was the start of this year.
There was another one? Oh, geez. I mean, yeah, let's just talk about all the bad things that happened this year. That's a great start.
If we're going to do that, we should make sure where the volcano was.
I know, right? I think Dennis is searching right now.
Dennis, look it up. All the bad things that have happened in 2020.
Yep. That's the way to start.
Okay.
Good?
Yep. You ready?
Hi, Facebook.
Hi. Good. Okay.
YouTube. Hi, Facebook. Welcome back. Now it's time for our part 2 where we'll be discussing media trends. Every week we'll talk about a different media trend and we have a live show with Talk and Talk. With me in the studio we have Tim and Dennis. Hello guys, how you doing?
Woohoo! I'm great, thanks. How about your team? Smart guy?
I'm always great.
I
You just
think
see I'm
he's not
smiling.
smiling anymore. Okay.
Did everybody have a great solar?
No.
Yeah, I had a pretty much busy, super busy because I need to go to the Pyeongtaek, Gyeonggi province, and then when I just came back from Gyeonggi province, because I heard about coronavirus, so I was scared because I was just near there. Okay, maybe I have kind of infected. I don't know. Okay, all right. Okay, how about you, James?
Yeah, no, it was good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Did you go somewhere? Or
No, the family lives in Gwangju, so it's just around the corner from my house.
That's really good. No traffic jam.
No.
Okay, did you go to see him? movie or kind of like with your family?
No, I didn't. I've got a next week. I have a science conference I have to go to, so I was busy preparing
Oh, you
my
studied.
poster.
That's
So I had to
good.
do some studying.
Oh, really good. Sounds intellectual. Good. All right.
Tim, did you go anywhere?
Me, I just went to the countryside, enjoying the scenery of the bunch of, nothingness.
Did you go to Naju to see
Yeah,
your grandparents?
Naju. That was pretty much it because, my father's side lives in Guangzhou. So, I was just enjoying the scenery of nothingness. There was not much there, not animals because it's winter, They're all hibernating somewhere.
And did you help cook or clean, or did you do the traditional Korean man
Sorry, I
sit
was
on
a
the sofa
bad
and watch
son.
TV?
I was a bad son. I was a bad son.
Yeah, I've
Sorry.
been cooking for a whole 2 days at least. My back was quite sore after, all this cooking. And I thought to myself, clearly, our ladies have no mercy.
Yeah, instead of helping cooking, I just gave all small cash. Cash is the
I was
best.
just paying.
You're right.
Shame on you, Dennis. Shame on
Oh,
you.
come on.
You made such big promises before the new year, remember?
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, moving on to the topic.
Yeah, let's get on to today's topic. So
Okay, let's go.
today we're going to talk about when disasters occur, and the role of GFN. So we've dealt with this topic before, and the reason why we bring this topic again, of course, is the coronavirus. So the experts say that the coronavirus is similar to SARS, which was severe acute respiratory syndrome. And SARS spread rapidly after its first outbreak in southern China in the late 2002, affecting over 8,000 people in 37 countries and killing 774 people.
Oh my God.
And that spread was largely due to the tight media control of the Chinese authorities. And unfortunately, it seems to be the same case this time too. So, what do you think about today's topic? Media control of information like that.
Well, I think the human being just, through the history from the Spain influenza, and we have faced all the time the kind of, a big disease or serious one, right? SARS and MERS and this time, coronavirus, right? I just thought that what was the reason? Because we are kind of too much centralized in city, right? That's the one cause, right? And then some people just blame the Chinese people just eat animals or they just sell and buy animals, just not a very clean environment, right?
Well, I heard it was a market.
And kind of
started.
it is rooted in kind of bad, right? But it is not sure, right?
No, they didn't verify the actual source, so no, it's not verified. They are still suspecting it might have been a snake or some of the other animals that were sold in the market.
And they, that kind of animals. I heard that the bat has over 100 kind of parasites kind of inside, so it's really dangerous.
So the humans.
Yeah, but yeah, but actually, basically that's the problem. Why humans just eat those kinds of animals, who had very dangerous and serious parasites. I don't understand. I don't understand. Yeah, what do you think about
I
that?
don't think it's really the cause of the, what kind of animals you consume. I think it's the procedure of this whole, how do you clean the animals or how you clean the meat before serving the meal and all kind of stuff. And China was not really known for the sanitary level of their food they're serving, Not to mention the government is not really doing a good job of maintaining such thing. I mean, my Chinese friend used to tell me that their food is basically sometimes poison because Chinese would prefer to have a shining apple that are covered in chemicals, so it will look, rather, very delicious looking, rather than actually having a healthy apples on the market that are not shiny. So considering that's actually coming from a regular citizen, I can only imagine what kind of, conspiracy theories going around in the food market nowadays, especially considering now there's a coronavirus going on. And so far in South Korea, we found 6 carrier recently were discovered, and this one was a huge bound because he's the first one who was not directly, influenced by the city that was actually, who started all this outbreak, which was Wuhan City. The sixth carrier was not really related to that. He didn't work there, he didn't go there for like any kind of business purpose. He was infected by one of those 5 carriers that were originally found.
Yep, that's right.
And so far, according to the sources that I mentioned, so far 74 people had a contact with those 5 carriers. People 6 were found, mostly family members. And according to the government, they're under the constant vigil and supervision from their own family members and also from the government because there were some outsiders involved, like some of the people who work at the hotel that one of those carriers stayed, and so on and so on. So I would still recommend vigil citizens.
I think that regardless, what is the cause of the coronavirus or the other virus, the problem is that just first of all, the Chinese government they just block kind of from media, right? That's the
Right.
first cause.
That's one of the big problems.
Yeah. That's why that it just spread really, really widely, right, to Germany and Australia and to Korea, right? And that's the big problem. And I don't know. I don't understand why it's because it is kind of related to kind of the human being's life, right?
But it seems like governments, and I'm not singling out the Chinese government because other governments are guilty of this as well. But the first act that seems to be their first impulse is to just try and cover it up.
Yeah.
When some bad thing happens, they just try to keep it quiet.
Yeah, they just believe in okay, we can control this, right?
Right. So I wonder whether the Chinese government was like, well, we'll just keep it, don't say anything, keep it quiet, and they hope they could do it in secret, solve the problem. And the only reason they, it's become wide knowledge is because the problem got so big.
Yeah, these days we cannot hide the kind of the things because through social media, right? Yeah, even though the Chinese government just blocked the official kind of the internet service, but there is a kind of backdoor. So many Chinese people from Wuhan they just upload how serious the situation is. Okay, did you check the YouTube, right?
Yeah, I've seen some. Yeah.
Oh, that's the serious. And Friday morning, so we got a very good, the great news. The Korean people, Korean nation, they just arrived at Gimpo Airport. Over 300 people, and
from Wuhan.
Yeah, from Wuhan. Okay, just Korean government just sent kind of the charter, right? A special kind of airplane, and they arrived, and I just heard the special interview. Yeah, okay, the radio host and then the students from Wuhan. That was really nice.
You wouldn't want that job as the stewardess on the plane, would you?
Yeah, but
I think I'd wear a mask.
Yeah, airline company maybe they just asked the kind of for volunteers,
some danger pay.
And yeah.
Okay,
I don't know. The problem is that it is just connected to the national issue, political issue, because Jincheon, right? Jincheon, there is a kind of big dormitory, and then the people from Wuhan, they were kind of protected, at least for 2 weeks. But
you
Jincheon
mean
local
quarantine?
Yeah, kind of quarantine, right? For quarantine. But they had a little fight, right? Local people they weren't happy to.
I mean, would you be happy if you had like a bunch of people from one in your city?
Yeah, it's but if I were them, just I have to to receive them because they were well quarantined, well kind of protected in a special dormitory area, just they don't go out, and it is not in the city, just kind of outskirts of the city. So yeah, I think it's acceptable. Okay, how about you?
Okay, well, sorry to interrupt you there, but let's take a moment and have a song break.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sure.
Already?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's your request, Dennis.
Woohoo!
Do you want to introduce it, or you want me to?
Can I?
Yeah, you can.
All right. My song request is today's Sunday, so Sunday Morning by Maroon 5.
Okay, here it is. Okay, good link.
Today's is good. That's good. So we have focused on today's issue a little bit more. I think it's okay.
Yeah, we're pretty much concentrated. Let's joke and let's stuff. Oh, you couldn't see the clock, huh?
Every time.
Can't see the clock.
자, 옮겨줄게요. 오케이. 앉아보세요. 아, 이거 건들면 안 되겠구나.
Maybe we have to put hang the clock over there.
So
that might be a bad idea.
When she says 42, I was just going off this clock, but when it goes to 41, was that 41 in 10 seconds? Or is it 41 in 50 seconds? And I need to.
Okay. There is no second, right?
Yeah, there's no seconds.
There's no need for micromanaging. You just tune it around.
Ready?
Time.
Yeah, you're ready.
Okay, so let's keep talking about today's topic. So, what do you think GFN could do if there was some disaster here in Gwangju in Korea? What
Well,
would be the role of GFN?
well, I have a question before the coronavirus. Did the GFN had some kind of the safety campaign? Did you hear that?
About Corona?
Yeah, no,
Or just
yeah, Corona and anything else about kind of safety, no? We had or not?
yeah, there's sometimes little
Once in
spots
a while,
little
right?
spots in the
Okay.
show, yeah, to give some advice or
Okay.
warning people about it.
Okay, I
Yeah.
think this since this time, just why don't we make kind of the regular kind of ad or campaign about public safety or kind of like that? What do you think about team? Negative guy. Tell me
Whoa,
first.
now you're calling me the guy who always smile and negative?
That's perfect. That's perfect. That matches you. Come on,
All right,
go
so
ahead.
I mean, I think this is just general call, right? Basically, when the some kind of huge disaster such as
Mm,
coronavirus or things like that happen, GFN's role is quite simple. As a radio station, we will broadcast the information and relay the information to the people on time. I think that's a really good point. On time. For example, Chinese government, even though the outbreak of the coronavirus first victim happened way before, January,
mhm,
it was actually in the middle of December, they
mhm.
decided to hide it from the public until end of the December,
Yeah,
until the next year.
more than 2 weeks
More than
before.
2 weeks, eventually. And now, here we are.
Mhm. Hey, GFN has different kinds of the cultural program, right? Chinese and Vietnamese, right?
Right?
So why don't you just use those people? Just they don't know they know better the local news, right? From Chinese news, right? So maybe we can share just
I'm
more.
sorry, what? Are you telling me Chinese people who staying in Korea has a better knowledge about what's going on in China than us?
Sure, I'm sure. No,
I mean,
because there are a lot of friends in there, right?
yeah,
They have a good
sure.
relationship and network, right?
But still, when
Maybe
you're
GFN
not in
can
the
collect
actual in
more
the
stories.
place, things happens to be well,
Hmm.
get a little bubbled out if you know
Mm.
what I mean. Just like a media. I mean, media's job it is to let the people know what's going on in the world. But sometimes, as you know, in all business, media also lives by people's view rating, right?
Mm.
So sometimes they just exaggerate it so much. Like for example, a lot of problem nowadays is also that a lot of SNS
Mm.
information on the media now are false. A
Mm.
lot of false report of the coronavirus happening all over the world, and people are just panicking around. And I can see that some people are actually benefiting from this.
Mm.
Well,
So
I mean that's another issue with whether radio stations and TV shows should spread information so strongly because it
hmm
can lead to fear and panic.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I was thinking we should, trying to provide, expert explanation when we're actually, spreading information. Not just goes like we're going to die, not like nothing like that. Or it's
Exactly.
at
Yeah.
the end of the world or something. No, provide information with the attitude of the professionalism, not just exaggerating the world so more people can tune on to your broadcast station. No, that shouldn't be the an actual goal of relaying information as a radio station. So I think the reminder of the what kind of job you have is also a good thing too.
I think the GFN, the kind of the talking about some issue on time. I think it's a little bit late to GFN because we are not a kind of major rights, major media and social media is so kind of wide. So GFN finds something unique way to kind of campaign or just kind of share some information. So we should be different, right? Because the radio station is getting critically small, right? We have to find kind of so a few weeks ago we just talked about kind of the radio drama, kind of like that.
Right.
So make some situation, kind of the Wuhan or it's kind of coronavirus, we made a kind of some situation and that we can put some lesson. How gonna we do? So I think that that's kind of the unique way because we don't need to follow kind of major this media companies just way, right? What do you think about that?
I don't think
We should
there's
be
a
different,
best.
right? I hope.
Actually, I quite didn't understand what you were talking
Yeah,
about.
all major companies, media companies, and all the social medias, they're all this information about coronavirus is just wide, right? Everybody knows, right?
Eh,
We are a little bit step just behind that issue, right? Just we are talking about coronavirus on time. Well, it's not on time because we are small local radio station. So we have to find another way to make the GFN brand bigger. Yeah, just we don't need to follow just the major companies just issue. For example, coronavirus already people already know, right? Okay, but now we are talking just copy and copy and copy. I think it is a little useless, right?
Now, here's the thing, Dennis. I'm pretty sure this is not the first time GFN is talking about coronavirus.
Mhm.
We are not we are not the show. We are not the kind of session where we
But it's
relay
from coronavirus,
information.
right?
We're a session we just talk about and discuss about what is trend on the internet. I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure there are other, TV show or not TV show, sorry, the
Mhm.
other session and other program GFN that already announced about the coronavirus
Yes.
much
Mhm.
earlier than we
Mhm.
did. So you don't have to worry about that, I
Mhm.
don't think.
Mhm.
But I think there's a benefit for GFN of having a much, multicultural audience than the other Korean radio station.
That's a good point. Yeah, but
So when some other Chinese or other foreign population in Gwangju
Mhm.
didn't hear the news, or maybe they missed the news because some of them might be elderly, not really familiar with the technology and stuff, and wanted to actually know more information about this outbreak, and only hearing rumors, only making more panicking and fear of what is unknown. In that case, GFN could provide a much more professional explanation and can benefit the citizens of the Gwangju who are living here out of their own countries. So I think that's where GFN could shine
is
in
there
the case
anybody
of
It
the
is a good
that
point.
disaster.
know?
As
Qualify?
as an expat living here, the only radio station I listen to is GFN.
See, there you go.
Mm-hmm. I got it.
I mean, not everyone understands the Korean African news goes like, we're 9 a.m. Korean news, and we're not going to provide the translation in English, Vietnamese, Chinese, and Filipinos. Good luck, guys. See? So,
Many foreigners in Guangzhou, I know that they are listening to the GFN, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, right. Okay.
so
So
that,
just why don't you just invite some of the multicultural people and Chinese people and Russian people and Korean people just have talk about that issue or kind of like that. It's not just focus on kind of
So
major
maybe
trend.
GFN should try to provide the news in multiple languages.
Yeah, you're
Not
right.
just
You're
I
right.
mean, we already do in English,
You're
Chinese,
right.
and Vietnamese,
You're right.
but maybe we should
It's
look to
not
do
enough.
it in different languages too.
didn't we have China channel too?
Yeah, so
We
that's
have,
the
right?
three languages where they talk about it.
Hmm.
But maybe they should look to do it in Japanese and
You're right.
Indonesian.
Now, and each channel program, they are just talking about in their language, right? But we just kind of unify the program, so Japanese and Chinese multicultural just guests. Just we are talking about some issue. I think that's a good idea. All right.
I
Okay,
think
that's
so.
my idea. All right. I'd like to suggest GFN. All right. Okay. Think so. What do you think?
I think I already told my opinion about this.
I know that the Sunday the talk and talk we are just talking about just the media trend, right? Just go about
Yeah.
the outbreak of the
Yeah, and
diseases
I
and
already
one of the
told about
trend.
the major role that GFN is going to play in the disaster. Like I said, a lot of people who are living in Korea,
Mhm.
who are foreigners, are not all young people who are familiar with technology, who can just go to the internet and search on their own.
Mm.
So in that case, GFN, a radio station like us, who only provides foreign content in this city in particular,
Mhm.
will be very helpful in the
Mhm.
case of disaster. The other factor I would like to mention is actually not much,
Uh-huh.
but also telling them about the basic procedure about how you approach this disaster, not just by panicking and running in circles and screaming for help. We
Right.
could actually provide what kind of tips we should take when you're trying to be careful about this virus. Like for example, do
Mhm.
not trying to consume food without cooking properly, or trying to avoid travel to China for a while. I mean, those are basic stuff. Some other my professional tip might come in handy.
Yeah, is GFN just telling kind of the normal procedures when something had happens about
They give
coronavirus?
they tend to give health advice. Yeah.
Ah, okay, I got it.
How specific that advice is,
Mhm.
I'm not sure, but
Mhm.
maybe that's one thing we should try to look to.
Yeah,
do,
you're right. That
like
should be the first. Okay.
actual, rather than just a 30-second,
Mhm.
information about it, make a 5-minute program advising people about how to wash hands.
So where to contact, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know the number, the contact number, just when it happens, kind of the coronavirus?
Oh, I got an emergency message yesterday, and I saw the number
Oh, really?
11339.
Oh, yeah, maybe 1339, right? Right, team? You didn't get?
No, because I'm a healthy person and don't
Oh
care.
my God. Okay.
Okay, so fortunately we've run out of time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was.
It was really enjoyable time. Very useful. All right. Okay. Unfortunately, we don't have Peter, right?
Yeah, no Peter.
Oh
We
my
just
gosh, Peter,
realized
we
that.
miss you. All right, we miss you. Come on.
Right. At the end of the session, you just realized, hey, there's no Peter.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Let's
I
say
just
that we
felt
missed
Peter
him in the
just messaged
show.
me. All right. Hello, I'm Peter.
Right, so thanks for coming in, guys. We really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedules to watch with us.
All right. Have a happy Sunday. Bye bye.
Well, folks, watch yourself out there.
See you next week.
See you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.
I think it's too short to talk about the trend or some issue, right?
Sometimes it feels like
Yeah,
short,
sometimes,
sometimes it feels
sometimes.
like a long time.
Oh, I'm okay. 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 You're with virus. Woo!
Thank you, guys.